Welcome to Zoom TV. I'm Parul Sharma and I hope you are safe and healthy in these trying times. Today I have with me the legendary Shabana Azmi, the charismatic Kunal Kapoor, and the visionary that is Mitakshara Kumar. They have come together to form the epic web show, The Empire. Hello and welcome everyone.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll start off by asking Mitakshara, when a big streaming giant backs you and monetarily provides for you, what kind of confidence does that give the director, and what are some liberties you could take that you otherwise wouldn't be able to, especially considering this is your directorial debut?
I mean, I think I wouldn't know otherwise. This is my first. So I wouldn't really know what would happen if I did not have what I got. I was very, very blessed. And I have to thank Nikhil for trusting me. He had not seen any of my work and he just gave this big show to me. And he has blindly let me do whatever I wanted to do. And the thing is, when someone puts in that much of money and faith in you, the responsibility on your shoulders also increases. So I couldn't have just done anything that I wanted to do. I knew what was the cost and everything and what was happening. So that just made me more aware and more responsible.
Kunal, you play the role of Babur in The Empire. And as it's been mentioned, this is possibly the biggest web show to come out of India. So headlining a show like this, were you ever in your head about what that means as one of the leads and the kind of pressures and expectations that come with that? Or was that not of any concern to you?
No, I was just very excited. I mean, I've been part of films where I've had to pay my own air ticket and use my own clothes. So I've, been part of films which are really, really small as well. And just to have a chance to be part of something so humongous, not just in the costumes and the sets and the action, but also in the vision, and also in how much drama and how beautiful the story is, was very, very exciting. So it never felt like a situation where I felt pressured or I felt, oh my God, this is such a big responsibility. Right. I just felt incredible joy that I was part of something that I feel is really special. And also the chance to play a character which I've never played before. A really, really challenging character, a character that has so many layers that I've never had a chance to experience. So it was all very exciting.
Shabana ji, with the amount of talent and exceptional performances that you've given in your career till now, I would say you are a queen in your own right. So who would you say has been your queen maker in your own personal journey?
Circumstances. I think it's really about being at the right place at the right time. And I do not fancy myself as a queen at all, but the fact is that were it not for the writers who wrote the kind of scripts that they did and the directors who had the faith to sort of move away from what mainstream cinema was offering at that part, I wouldn't be in the place that I am. So I'm ever grateful for that. And, I want to say one thing here that, film acting is a very collaborative medium. It is dependent on so many things. The actors get away with the acclaim or the brickbats because their face is in front of the camera. But actors know that because there's a whole host of technicians working behind the screen that are enhancing your strengths and trying to put a curtain on your weakness, that you get away with what you do. So I'm just grateful to everybody who gets involved, right from the spot boy, of course, to the director and the producer.
And in your personal life, being the stalwart that you are, which we think, you may not think you're a queen, but we really do. Who has been a person who has sort of been that sort of support for you in your whole career that has been spanning so many decades?
I don't think I would pinpoint it to one particular person, but the people I consider my gurus, one is Shyam Benegal, because I started my career with him, and also Roshan Taneja, my professor of acting at the Film Institute.
Kunal, everything that we've seen of you and your character Babur up until now has been at intensity level max. So how much of your character would you take off the set with you at the time? And what has been your biggest learning from Babur, the character?
How much would I take off? No, I don't. It's not like I take my work home, honestly. I prepare very hard. I try and do all the homework that I can do before I start shooting. But I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've taken the character home and been so obsessed with it that I can't think of anything else. No, I've never been that sort of actor. What is the biggest learning The thing I was talking about earlier as well, the thing that I found most relatable about the character was that despite being an emperor, the character has a lot of self-doubt. And I've never been an emperor, I've never been a king, but when you're in the movies and you have a certain persona and people like you for that, there's sometimes a big difference between the externals and the internal. So you could be somebody that is perceived as being successful, but you could still be crippled with self-doubt. And that's the part that I found most relatable about the character, is that despite the fact that he was an emperor, there were so many moments where he always doubts himself, and he wonders whether he's worthy of this, or whether he's just got lucky, or whether he really deserves this or somebody else does. So that's something that I found really fascinating, and I found very, very relatable.
You could kind of draw a parallel to that in your own personal life.
Yeah, I think as artists, I think a lot of us as people that are dependent on sort of public acclaim and public acceptance find ourselves in that situation where, when something doesn't work, or, you get criticism for something, you have moments of great self-doubt.
Mitakshara, The Empire is, of course, based on the book Empire of the Mughal by Alex Rutherford. As a director, how much attachment does one feel towards the parts of the book that you have to cut out and leave behind? And now looking back, once you've completed the show, is there any bit that you sort of left out that you wish could have been a part of the show had the situation permitted?
Adaptations are very difficult to bring on screen. So you need to be very, very careful and choose exactly what it is that you need. So rather than, I don't think we've missed out anything, because we've taken the journey of the characters. The characters have completed their arcs completely. I believe storytelling is all about a character. If you know where your character is going from this point to that point, उसके बाद जो life में बीच में आती रहती हैं चीजें, वो जुड़ के incidents बनते रहते हैं, वो drama build होता रहता है. So I don't really think, when I look back, there's nothing we've really missed. Rather than leaving things out, the smarter thing to do is try and culminate 10 things into one. And that's what we have strived to do here. So the many different incidents which are repeated in the book, we have put it all together into one. So you get the best of both worlds.
That's a hot tip for the up-and-coming directors out there. Lastly, Shabana ji, you play the kingmaker in this show. And as you've said yourself, we don't have too many examples, real or fiction, where a woman holds that mantle. What are some things that you want people who identify as female to take away from your character?
Well, I hope they appreciate the layers of the person, and they appreciate the choices that I got a chance to choose. It's not very often that you get so many layers in a character that it really is finally the choice that the actor makes. Otherwise, if the script is the same, why doesn't everybody play Hamlet exactly in the same way? Because they've made certain choices, and I hope people like the choices that I made. देखिए होता क्या है कि जब हम कोई स्ट्रॉन्ग कैरेक्टर प्ले करते हैं तो हम समझते हैं कि बस वो तीखा ही और वो स्ट्रॉन्ग ही लगना चाहिए. It's only interesting if behind that veneer of strength you also see vulnerability. You have to play against the emotion, and only then the emotion stands out more. So what we have tried to do is, without really dwelling on it, to try and also see her vulnerabilities just enough so that you feel that, acha, there is more to her than meets the eye. You'd agree with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you all the very best. And I, for one, can't wait to watch the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.